Welcome to the Cambridge MBA podcast. I'm Suzanne.
I'm Rocio.
And we're here to talk about our MBA experience.
Yes. Maybe it would be better to introduce ourselves. I'm Rocio from Peru. And before the MBA, I was working in the mining and oil industry for more than 10 years. How about you, Suzanne?
Yeah, my name's Suzanne, as I said, originally from the US. Before the MBA, I've been working in energy consulting in Oslo, Norway, among other places, and really excited to be here.
I think that we can share a bit of our MBA journey. Before the MBA, for me, it was like kind of like a dream to be here, and I decided to put all my efforts to prepare for everything, GMAT, all the papers that we need to fill, and I think that it was worth it at the end. But I think that is kind of the similar for many of us, right? To prepare of all the requirements that we need for the MBA.
Yeah, definitely. I think the application process was a little bit daunting.
Yes.
For me, I was also doing that process while doing my normal job. But I know both of us are really passionate about advancing in general, and also about advancing women in business and in energy. And so having that passion made it a little bit easier to understand why we were applying and what we wanted to get out of the MBA.
Exactly. And I think that is important to know, why you are like deciding that Cambridge or whatever you are deciding. In my case, it was like the city that it was like gorgeous, and it's like the experience around, because it's not only the MBA program, but it's everything that is came with like the Cambridge experience that is like amazing. We can talk about like this. It's not only like the courses that we had, but it's like also, the formals that we attend inside the university, the people that we met. And I think that is like something that you cannot measure in all the sense of that, right?
Yeah. Just the experience of the city and the history, it couldn't be matched.
It is. Like the formals that you can attend, you have like 31 college over here, and then it's like you can exchange the college and everything. That is like pretty amazing. And also that inside the MBA, we have like these two big like group assignments, that is like the CVP and also the GCP. I want to know about your CVP experience, but in my case, it was like focus on something that I never like saw before, that is like the AI like tool and a different language, and it was like so interesting to learn about that. It was a startup in London. I think that you did for the CVP?
I was in Cambridge.
It was in Cambridge.
Yeah, so the CVP, for those who aren't aware, is the Cambridge Venture Project.
Exactly.
And the Cambridge faculty matches you with an early phase company. So yours was AI, mine was in biotech. Typically, they match you with an industry that you haven't worked on before. And so for me, it was really interesting to see behind the scenes on an emerging biotech company. Mine was working with kind of antibacterial materials, and yours was AI.
Exactly.
And so it was really interesting to see how a business functions at that early stage, especially when you have something, in both of our cases, that involved a lot of research, which is perhaps a different kind of growth cycle than the kind of larger companies that you and I had worked on before. But I'm curious to know, I know we've spoken a little bit now about why you wanted to apply to Cambridge and do the MBA here, how beautiful the city is and the program, but I'm curious to know a little bit more about what you wanted to get out of the MBA.
I think that for me it was like the network that we did here. I think that also to have like the exposure and the tools in many different like not only the courses I'm talking, but for me like the CVP that we already share, but the GCP was like to continue for me in the same path that it was like mining. I did my GCP in Chile, that it was like amazing. But if I want to summarize in terms of the outputs, it will be like the network that you build. I mean that now I have like some contacts, not only in South America, but also in Norway and in the UK and Asia. I think that is only possible because we are like doing the MBA. But how about you? What do you think is like the best outcome for the MBA?
Yeah, I have to say the network has been incredible, better than I even anticipated. what I wanted to get out of the MBA initially was just to basically level up my career. I felt like I was hitting a ceiling a little bit in terms of my skill set and my managerial skills. And so it felt like the right time to do an MBA in the career to sort of give you that catalyst to the next step.
Sure.
But what I got out of it was so much better in terms of the network, the friends. I think it's really the people that make it.
That is amazing.
And the fact that now we know, I mean, you and I became good friends.
Exactly.
So now I have friends in Peru, I have friends all over Asia, I have friends in India, I have friends all over Europe. And that's just such an incredible richness of experience within the MBA, but also moving on into the future to have that network globally is just awesome.
But do you think that the MBA allows to switch the industry that you are coming from? Do you think that is possible, or maybe not? I think that in my case, because I always want to keep it in the same industry, I never like try to change. I don't know. Many people came here and say that I'm like from biotechnical and they want to change from the consulting, for example.
Yeah.
But I think that is that possible? I mean, that MBA allows people to change the industry, or is like more complicated than that?
I mean, the market is really tough right now.
It is.
I think the key to being able to switch industries is having a realistic understanding of how many factors you can switch at once, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like the MBA colleagues that we've made that were successful in switching, they switched one factor. So they didn't switch their area of work or their like specific specialty, but they switched in the role, but they switched their geography. So I would say if you want to kind of switch all the things at once, pick one, focus on that, make that switch. But I don't think it's possible to switch industry, geography, role, specialty. So for you and I, we both wanted to have slightly different roles, but stay within our same industry. And I think we were both successful in that.
And to come back, right? I mean, we decide like to have like that like an option to come back to our places.
Exactly.
Each one, and in the same kind of industry.
Yeah.
Yes. And how about like the highlights from the MBAs?
Yeah, the highlights.
we talked about like this before, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it was like the MBAT. It's like such a beautiful experience, and then you are like, it's like 3 days kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like sharing with different schools, and then you are like playing different sports. I think that you tried rowing, no, right? For the MBAT, not?
I did soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Yes. Rugby? Not.
I skipped rugby.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of the highlights. We have many, but I think that the MBAT,
Definitely.
it's gorgeous. Yes.
I mean, it's hard to pick which highlights because there were a lot of really good times. For me, the MBAT was pretty high up there as well. So the MBA Olympics, and it's organized, and all of the different MBAs from the top schools in Europe get together for a weekend in France and basically play sports. And then enjoy cocktails in the evening.
Knowing more people.
Yeah, but it was amazing to meet people in the same situation from all of these other universities as well, and just incredible to travel with everyone from our cohort and just professionally hear about different opportunities, different places. Another highlight that comes to mind is all the formal dinners. Which are so fun.
That is amazing.
And it's a great way to also check out all of the different colleges. You and I were both in Darwin.
Yes.
And we got to go to formals in Peterhouse, King's, all of the different kind of colleges that we wanted to. And I think that's very unique to kind of the Cambridge experience.
And also I think that the Mabels, right?
The Mabels were also...
That season was amazing. Everyone trying to like go to all the Mabels, but I think that, yes. But I think that I picked St. Catherine, I think so, and another one. Gorgeous also. I think that is like, you need to think about it when you are like trying to like do the MBA. Not only, I mean, the courses are like the more important and the working and everything, but also like the whole experience. And I think in that sense, Cambridge has like everything. Is the city, we talk about like the MBATs, the formal dinners, and another experience that you can have over here that I think that it's like, you cannot measure, like I say, like, before. It's amazing, I think so, yes.
But I'm curious to know, another highlight for both of us, I think, was the GCP.
Yes,
and you had a very cool GCP.
No, I feel like I have like a privilege to, to live like in Chile for, it was like kind of 1.5 months.
In Chile?
In Chile, yes. With my whole GCP that came from a completely different background. It was 4 guys and me, and they came from, I don't know, like New York, from South Africa, Australia, different, I mean, completely different, and different industries. I think that they work in investment banking before, and it was like the first time like working for a mining company, and then we have like the chance to visit the site and travel there, and it was like incredible to share different knowledge with them and also to be there. I think that that is like a plus and a privilege. How about yours? It was yours in London, right?
Mine was in London, yeah. So the GCP, the Global Consulting Project, is one where there are some projects that you can sign up for or you can curate your own. And your team curated your own based on some contacts from one of the MBA colleagues. I applied to some of them that had been organized by the MBA faculty. So I did my GCP with Actis Capital in London, which is a private equity firm that focuses on renewable energy infrastructure. And my team was awesome. And like you said, super international, lots of different backgrounds. Our project was really interesting, working with some new sustainable fuels and kind of assessing the asset from an investment perspective. And really fun also to be in London during that time. I think it was a little bit tough. Some got to be on site, some were remote, but both of us ended up enjoying being on site.
Yes, that is.
And that was really, really fun. So in terms of the skills that you gained during the MBA, what do you feel like are the main skills that you're taking into your new role?
I think that is like, I mentioned this before, but it's like we attend many like network events, and then you are like, I think that it's a bit complicated to develop like the soft skills, and you need to develop that in the MBA program. And also because you are attending and meeting like new people all the time, you need to be flexible. And I think that can help you when you are like coming back to the current role. You have like an open mind because you need to be like, or understand like different cultures, different backgrounds. And I think that this is like a plus. How about you?
Yeah, I think for me, the hard skills were also really valuable because my background was not in finance or economics as yours is. So the corporate finance, the venture finance have both proven already to be really useful. And then on the soft skills side, I think it was really useful in terms of, like you said, thinking about multicultural management and also thinking about strategy from a higher level. So what I'm working with now includes elements of all of those things. So working in a more multicultural environment, working on more strategy projects, working with projects where, understanding the financial fundamentals is really important. And it's great to be able to step into that environment and feel like I have a few more tools in my toolbox, and especially in working with our teams in the different regions that they're in. So that's actually been really, really valuable.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think that what is like Cambridge mean to us, like now that is like a full circle, right?
Yeah.
That it, like we come back over here like after 7-8 months. I think that for me it is like it was like one of like the best years with ups and downs for sure, but it was like an amazing experience. Not only, I say not for the courses, but it's because the people that I have like the chance to meet, and I think that I will remember forever. How about you? I think that is like, I think that we share that thought, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
I think it's been an absolutely incredible year, and I think what it means to me is just community, building that community, and reflecting on a time where you're just in such an intellectually dense environment. And I mean, when I look back, it's incredible to think about all of the different interactions that we had with each other and in different groups where we were learning so much. We're meeting people from all these different industries, and it was just a blast. So yeah, I think that's, I'll really think fondly of this time and hope to be back.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that we can share a bit of the scholarship. You got like the Forte, right? And I have like the regional, but can you share a bit more about that experience? Because I think that you have like a group inside the MBA, right?
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, I was a Forte Foundation Scholar, which is an organization that works towards basically getting women into executive positions. And that was wonderful and very enabling for me to be able to do the program. There were a handful of other women in the program that were also scholars through the same program. So before I even arrived, we were already communicating with each other. And there's also Forte scholars at a couple of the other big business schools in Europe. So So that was really, really great. And the Forte Foundation has a couple different resources you can use if you're looking for jobs. And I think for myself, the best part was just, getting to know the other women in the group. But what about in terms of regional diversity? You were the scholarship recipient.
Yes, exactly. And this is like, you can apply if you came from like a specific industry. For example, I study economics, but I work my entire career in the mining and oil industry. That is not common that economics work in that area, and it's from the university, and they pick like one it's like one scholarship for each round, and I got in the first round. And I'm thinking that it was like, I feel so grateful to have that scholarship because helps a lot. And also we can share inside the MBA, like the people who had that regional diversity, for sure.
In terms of the application process, was that something that you were able to apply to within the MBA application itself?
Yes, exactly. I mean, when you are like start the application, you can decide if you want to pick that, like scholarship. I mean, if you met the requirement, right?
Yeah,
exactly. But I think that now we can go with the fun question.
The wild card. Card.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Something that we can share, please.
Okay, if your MBA had a theme song, what would it be?
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen, that's a good one. Why?
No, I don't. Because I like.
Because you're the dancing queen.
I love ABBA. Okay. So now that you have completed your MBA, can you tell us what an MBA is in 30 seconds?
What an MBA is in 30 seconds. Okay.
Counting now.
Yes. So an MBA is a Master's of Business Administration. And what that means broadly is that you're going to get all of the business fundamentals at a high level across a variety of different subjects. So that's strategy, finance, management. It also means that you have a great community around you.
You got it.
Done.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations to our beautiful class.
Congratulations.